might have joined us this morning. Left to right, we introduced Sting, Peter Gabriel, and Bill Graham, who is the tour's producer. And also joining us this morning, their guardian angel. He is Jack Healy, the executive director of Amnesty USA. And good morning to all of you. Thank you. How much sleep did everybody get?
I didn't take any. I look better in the morning if I don't sleep at all.
You came straight from it. You know, the minute you say that, because I can hear a little bit of rasping, I note that you got out of a sick bed against doctor's orders to do this. At least that's what I've been reading. Now, why? I mean, why was it so important to you?
You know, I've been touring for 18 months, and the last thing I want to do is another tour. But I feel Amnesty is so important, and what it's trying to achieve is so utterly important, that it's everything else is by the board, you know. It doesn't matter.
Did it feel like just another rock concert when you were up there?
No, it was the best tour I've ever been on. I think there was a real spirit amongst all the artists, and I think the most touching moment for me was meeting some of the people who've actually been inside prison in different countries and shaking their hands, seeing tears in their eyes, and that, I think, gave the whole thing a purpose for me.
Did you see anything in the eyes of the people you looked out from the stage at?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were new to the work of Amnesty, and a lot of people were coming in for the music. But I'm certain now that there are a lot more letter writers and a lot more active people as a result of this tour.
We're going to talk about the letters in a minute with Jack. Bill, you're a veteran of these things over a number of years. I mean, I know they defy comparison. You tell me, what was it like?
It was you felt an instant result. Usually it takes a long time to see if a benefit does have positive results, but from the first city on, letters came in, finances were contributed. But there was a feeling that the commitment by the artists had instant results, that people became involved with a cause that needed to be heard from and about in America, that had been heard about throughout the world for years, and finally the effect was felt in America over the travel through from city to city.
I don't think any of us would quibble about the worth of the cause, but what leads you to believe that anybody left with anything more than a smile?
Oh, well, I think I've been a member of Amnesty for 5 years and a supporter because of an entertainment show, which was called The Secret Policeman's Ball, which I was involved in. And before that, I didn't know about Amnesty's work. And so in a sense, I'm a success story. I know that these kind of events work. And I'm sure that there were 80,000 people there last night. A good proportion of them will want to be supporters and will want to carry on the work.
I think the other thing we heard from Jack and Mary Daly was that the phones have been ringing all over the country, and so I think it is having an effect.
Jack, I know you passed out postcards, at each tour site and asked people to sign them. How many did you collect?
Tens of thousands. The tour had adopted 6 prisoners of conscience, and our artists are going to stay with those prisoners of conscience until they get free.
Where do those postcards now go?
They go to the heads of government, calling for the immediate release of those prisoners of conscience. People who have never used violence shouldn't be in jail. They're in there because of their race, their color, their creed. They just shouldn't be in jail.
Those governments who practice those kind of injustices, how likely are they to respond to pressure as a result of cards, letters?
Over our 25 years, we find out that we get out about 1,000 of 5,000 adopted prisoners in 1 year. We'll get out 1/20 of them, 1/4 of them, excuse me, it's a little early for them.
How much money was raised?
We think we'll make our goal of $3 million, and we already show an increase of 40,000 in our membership, which means there are people who will work daily against human rights violations around the world. That's the strength of our movement.
I know you don't want this tour to be grouped with anything that's happened in the past, but as we sit here in recent months, there have been what? There have been concerts for AIDS victims, there have been concerts for the homeless, there have been Artists Against Apartheid, there was, of course, Live Aid, and now this. Do you think with each one your audience gets a little less responsive, a little more cynical, a little more jaded? Do you think it affects them one way or the other? What do you think?
I think the primary reason that people come to a concert is to see the artist and not such direct involvement with the cause. But the answer always lies with the public. What do you do with what you're left with What do you do with that feeling good about the day you had there? And what do you do with your positive power? The artist lured you in there with the artistry and the talent. But if you leave feeling good, then what do you do about it? You, the person who bought the ticket, if you write cards, or you visit the home for the blind, or you read for the people in the hospital, the answer is not written in the wind, it's written in your heart. What you do with the power that you have as an average citizen.
Yeah.
I think, too, if only 10% of the people that we saw on this tour become letter writers, and that's going to be thousands of people who are saved from torture and maybe get out of jail. I mean, that is Amnesty's main weapon, it seems, in a lot of ways. And we, as much as any other group, know the power of bad PR. And I think the politics of embarrassment can be very effective.
Well, gentlemen, I congratulate you all. I know how difficult it was, not only going through it, but also to get up and be with us. And I thank you very much. As we leave you, let me put up a number. If you'd like to know more about Amnesty International,